to organizers for having us for this session. My name is Salman Sharif. I'm currently Director of Finance for Exhaust Hotels in UAE, and I'm looking after for the developments of new projects of Exhaust in the region. Before joining Exhaust, I have work experience in retail F&B industry. I was involved in many business implementations, transitions for finance department to different roles, acquisitions, merger. It's more than 15-16 years I am here in UAE and working in different organizations in the finance department.
Thank you very much for having us on 2.0 conference organizers, and thank you for you to have us and give the opportunity to express our opinion. My name is Sidra, and I'm a chartered accountant by profession. So I'm also experiencing here for the last 15 years on a couple of the areas. My experience is a little bit vast and diversified. I've been involved in many of the corporate trainings, developing advising on the corporate structures, effective capital structures, reporting structures, and advising the clients also that how they can convert their strategic vision into the financial results. So this is where my experience is, and I have been running a firm which actually we are providing part-time CFO services, and we are adding the values in our clients' financial structures, reporting, compliance, and helping them to mitigate the risk, whatever is coming across in the organization, in the country itself. We knew that UAE is continuously changing its compliance structure, its regulations, and we all know since beginning we are hearing about different business models from crypto up to sustainability investment. So this is where we help our clients in understanding and in coping up the risks and to help them to develop the structures to really keep them aligned to the business objectives.
So since morning we were talking about technology, about Bitcoin, wallets, crypto, fintech. So that's what the reason was that we choose this topic, that along with all technology developments, our finance professionals are supposed to develop themselves in order to cope the opportunities which are coming into the market. So business environment is dynamic, it's changing every day, and it's getting more and more complex. So the requirements from the business owners, the stakeholders are changing every day, and they are expecting all the business units to do more and must have the greater job which they were supposed to do. So finance as a department are already playing a role in this dynamic scenario as a finance business partner. So thanks to the finance business partner role of finance, all the businesses are already getting the strategic visions, getting the future understanding about where we are going and how to have a better control of the entire business environment. And along with the finance business partner role, all other departments of the organizations are getting aligned to meet the future objective of the companies. Along with the dynamic changes in the environment through technology, we must need to understand the role of finance to cope up with the governance, for accountability, for scrutiny. So there must be a controlled environment so that everyone will get benefit of that. So basically, finance business partnering is a rhetorical device designed to change the internal and external perception of the organization. What does it mean by internal perception and external expectation? Internal is within the finance department, we finance people must come out of our routine job and think about the business future strategy and align our goals, finance goals, to complete or to meet the long-term organization's objectives. And external is basically, it is important to label someone as a senior role so that we can help the organization to meet the objectives. So today's discussion will be actually will have four major areas we have divided. Number one is that why only finance business partner? So we have listened this term a lot, that finance business partner, finance business partner. Why only finance business partner? And the second area where we will be discussing about is that what are the required skill sets to have a finance business partner role? And third area where we will be discussing about is that what are the main hurdles of these skill sets. It's not easy to have these skill sets, and everyone cannot cope those advanced technologies and advanced things. So what are the hurdles in this role? In these skills to have this role basically. And fourth one will be our final conclusion statement based on our experiences. We are in practice for many years, so we have seen that how people take the new challenges, what are the hurdles, and how to cope up of those challenges basically. So there will be final statement. So I will be moderator and will be starting asking questions from Sidra about all these four areas, and will be adding value in that as well. So my first question to Sidra is that why we have only finance business partner?
Right. So actually, when we were developing the structure that what to discuss today, so myself and Salman, we were discussing the challenges which he has faced during his tenure, and which I have faced during my clients serving across different industries, across different countries. So we come up with the thing that why finance can only play a business partner along with investors. So I must say that this is due to two reasons. One is that finance has the required capability to understand the diverse involvement. They are the one who actually understand that external stakeholders and who are the internal stakeholders. So they are the one who are actually performing an agency role between the shareholders and the operations. So they are always in the best position. They have a distinct positions to look across the organization, not only inside the organization. So when they have the capacity and they have the position to look distinct across the organization, so they are always in a position to deliver their role as a business partner, to communicate to the operations that what the shareholders need, to communicate to the external stakeholders that what our challenges are, or to align wherever there is a discrepancy. So mapping the stakeholder is something which finance department can do better as compared to any other department. Of course, it comes with its own disadvantages also, because when finance professions are working with the business, so it comes with their own risk, which we'll be discussing in the later part of our discussion. But mainly due to these two positions, due to their agency relationship and due to their distinct positions. I will explain it in a way that all the processes in the organization ends at the finance. So they are the terminal users of the processes, they are terminal of the processes. So they are the one who actually best advise if they understood the business involvement, if they understood the technological changes. They are the best to advise on that how the process should look like and how to improve it, to align the strategies and to keep the organizations focused on to deliver the strategic objectives. Whatever it is, it could be corporate social responsibility, it could be sustainable investment, it could be anything. So whatever thing is that, finance is always in a better position. So that's why we always convince our clients, and always educate our team also in a way that you are central to the business. So you are the one who always have the capacity to deliver this role, not any other department. But this is how the finances really attract the key attention towards the business partnering role.
Correct. So basically, finance business partner is not a new role. We need to see how effective this role is in current environment. As the environment is changing, and we need to, and the business owners must, or all the stakeholders must look into this role to have it more effective.
Exactly, because finance, what we understood from our experience, and we keep exchanging notes with each other, because finance is our daily discussion, we both are from finance, that finance should be catalyst in organizations' objectives. Finance is the one who can identify the critical factors. And if they identify the critical factors, then they should have a prismatic personality to influence the people to achieve those. So this is another thing which we're discussing about, that how to develop this prismatic personality, because this influencing, this is a very
Correct. So on the other day, I was reading a survey on the finance business partners where more than 150 CFOs have taken the participation, and the result was that more than 52% of CFOs' opinion is that there is a lack of skills in market for the finance business partner role. And this is what we are talking about, the large corporates. So if this result is for the large corporates, we can imagine that what will be the result for the SMEs in the small corporates. So there is a huge gap in the skill sets what we are looking for in the market and its availability. So basically, my next question to Sidra is that what is the required skill sets to have this finance business partner role? What as a finance we should look for and improve our capabilities to perform this role basically?
Exactly. So you see, in that case, it's a required skills which not only for finance, it has two impacts. First is that finance people should be developing those, and the other aspect is for the HR, because they are the one who will be onboarding the business partners, who will be realizing the need to have those, and who will be convincing the operations to have this budget allocated so that we can have the business partners even on the board discussions or even at the organization level. So I will actually broadly I categorize it into four parts. One, definitely leadership and management skills. The second thing is that to have a comprehensive business understanding. The third one is commercial understanding of the business or negotiation and ethics. Without ethics, we being finance partners cannot discharge our roles. So we'll be taking care of it. And the fourth one is our communication. So these are the four skills which should be on the board in a right balance to have a right approach on the board to get the benefits out of the business partnering. So I will explain first, we will discuss about the leadership and management skills. So actually, just like another senior role, we cannot deny the need of having the proper leadership skills. And this is again, just like discussed earlier, this is a very much subjective discussion that what constitutes a good leader. It really depends upon the management style, it really depends on the quality of the people you have on board. So it's really adapting that what need to be done. It's really about trying and testing. There is no set rule for having a particular leadership style or particular management style for effective business partnering. But we cannot deny the fact that we should have this as an essential skill to be a business partner, leadership and management. Second thing which is of very much interesting to us, and this is over most of the discussion about to gain a comprehensive business understanding. And as we discussed this morning, just like Salman introduced that, we have been talking about crypto, we're talking about fintech, we're talking about digitalization, we're talking about removing the humans at all from the processes, moving everything to the Web3. There are many things coming up and of course going on. So along with that, very important is to how to gain a business understanding. So an effective business partner should have up-to-date knowledge of all of the business developments, no matter related to the new products, product innovation. There is a need to know more. There is always a continuous professional development. There should always be what I should say, the right mix of the compatibility in terms of IT also, because finance and IT both are integral pillars of an organization. I think that IT and finance should work together always to improve the process. But of course, in a dynamic environment, there is no single solution to get the business understanding. It really depends upon person to person. So this is something is very important, that it's up to one person's own capability to keep it updated every day. So business understanding is very important to deliver an effective business partner role. So
So basically, business understanding can come from different ways. It again all depends on the person to person. There could be formal trainings or industry research. We can also look for. We can go to the different departments and understand what they are doing and how they are doing. We can have informal communication channels. So, but we need to come out of our comfort zone. Basically, I have seen many of our finance professionals are sitting from morning 9 to 6 in the department and just doing all daily tasks. But they need to come out, discuss with other departments, discuss about management, and get more and more information contribution, what's happening in the organization, what's future plan, how we can help the organization to meet that future objectives. So this is very important, to come out of the comfort zone basically.
Exactly. And then the third part which I discussed is commercial negotiation. I think an effective business partner should have an excellent negotiation skills also. And negotiation skills cannot come if one does not have a commercial understanding. So it's very important to have a legal understanding of the business, legal understanding of the environment in which the business is operating. So it's very important to keep yourself updated, and negotiation strength is something which you cannot deny on. So of course it starts from the strategic up to the ground level of the discussion. So it's really important. So when we say that, say negotiation strength is something which, for example, if there is an investment project which is not delivering the required rate of return, so finance professionals should not be suggesting only not to go for it because it's not striking the required rate of return. We should be looking more than that. We should be looking into that how to achieve it. If there is a reasonable approach, if there is something which we can do to help the operations to achieve it, so definitely we should be open towards it. So we should be looking across Excel sheets which we used to produce, and the business models which we used to produce, that this is not touching required rate of return, so it's out of the box. No, it's not the case, because this is where the comparative edge is coming to the investment companies. So we'll be really getting out of our comfort zones, and rather than just striking this is not achievable, we should be helping the operations to identify and to achieve those. So this is what the negotiation comes. When we discuss the negotiation, I think here comes the integrity of the finance professionals, and we all are mostly in this room, we coming from the finance background, so we know that being finance, the ethics is very important. So we are all obliged to follow the ethics, and this is something coming either from your own chartered accountant bodies or either coming from the countries itself. So anyhow, the integrity and the ethics is something we should be taking care of. Integrity of the business partners can come into the question when we are working closely with the businesses. So it's a very much real-life example that when we are closing the years and operation is not able to achieve the forecast numbers or the budget. So here comes the integrity of the finance professionals who are actually closely working with the operations. It can come under the pressure. So now in that case, what is the solution? How the finance, how we can overcome these risks, how we can actually reduce this risk. So what approach we have followed that and we have practiced it, and it does work, of course, for the organizations, that effective business partner is the one who can actually assess the risk of not achieving the forecast before the time comes. So he is the one who is actually keeping it in mind, or who is actually regularly in an informal way. There is no formal way to know it, but definitely it comes with the care, it comes with the integrity, it comes with the onus with your profession. So they are the one who assess the risk before it gets too late, and alarm the strategic management people or the operations to overcome those before it gets too late. So this is the only key which our business partner can do to take care of the ethics and follow the principles. So right balance of the ethics and negotiation skills, I think is very important to be present in a person who wants to deliver his or her role as a business partner. And then, yes, so of course, the last but not least is the communication. I think that without clear communication and without effective communication, no matter how good you are analytically, how strong you are in terms of business understanding and how strong you are in terms of negotiation, but if one fail to communicate it clearly, communicate it effectively, or to convince the people to listen to them, I think that this is where finance professionals can fail. So we really need to work on our communication skills, and we really need to keep communicating, just like Salman said, that we have to come out of the offices, we have to attend the meetings, we have to listen to the people. I think that communication doesn't come if you don't listen effectively. So we really have to be, I think, quiet on some of the meetings, just to know that what the operations think, just to know that what challenges they are facing, not only keep blaming them about the decisions, we need to help them to have the decisions. So listening, I think, is very important at the moment, and then effectively communication. So these four skills are very important: leadership skills, or business understanding, and commercial understanding, and the ethics, and the fourth one is communication. So by having these four right balance, we can definitely develop the finance professionals into the business partners, and they are the one who can really work closely with the people to deliver what is in their dreams, to get the bring the blueprints into the black and white. So this is where we can definitely help with.
So this skill set is very important for our finance business partner role. Again, definitely when it comes to skills, there are different perspective of different people. Now we'll discuss about when we need to talk about, when we are talking about the skills, there are definitely hurdles in the market, and there are challenges we are facing to upgrade those skill sets. So how to unlock these hurdles in the market for the skill sets, required skill sets?
Right. So what we are doing as a chartered accountant firm, so whenever we have the trainees on board and we have the managers on board, I'm making the risk analysis and the commercial knowledge as a part of it's our culture. So when the people are joining us, also when they are comparing themselves with others, so this is what it's not only reporting, dashboard reporting, financial reports, monthly reports, budget, capital budgeting, it's more than that. So what it is that you have to understand the commercials of the business and then talk to me. So we talk to them more, we let them express what they get out of out of it. So basically the training starts from the very single point. So this is where I myself trying to contribute towards the organizations, and it may be translating later in the future, that the people who have been training with us, so they're really getting more into the business operations, more into the processes, more into the technology, and to get started on, kick off. This is the one very basic thing, but of course when we talk about what next? Next one is, I think, what I have seen, and I believe that Salman would agree, and you can tell if there is some other point. So the thing is that the systems and processes. So these are the two things which are really a great hurdle in getting the finance as a business partners, because it's not only single department game. It's about operations. It's about IT. So I think that we need to really work on more advanced IT systems and IT processes and automations to keep the finance people free and to help them to focus more on the soft skills of the team which they are managing, and to help them to go more into the details. And of course this can be overcome by manual reconciliations, processes and all that, but this will result in a little thing. So this is something which I think is very important, is the core systems and processes are really hampering a person to deliver his or her role as a finance business partner. So this is what when we are both the advisors or number of the clients both, so we are advising them that before creating the need or before creating a job description for a finance business partners, we should be discussing about that what are the bottlenecks in the system and processes to smooth out everything and then go towards a finance business partner. Because if he or she has to spend a lot of time in getting the data, understanding the data, analysis of the data, and so that there is no point in hiring this, and it will be a lot of expectations, and when we have a lot of expectations and these keep unfulfilled, it will not result in any of the benefit which we are currently discussing about having an effective business partner.
So basically finance is having a role in the implementation of the processes and IT systems along with the IT department. So finance must work together and must assure that the IT systems are in place to help us to provide the required information on timely basis, so that we can also assist the management and the long-term and the stakeholders to achieve the long-term strategy. The communication, effective communication is also important we should not wait for the time to come that when there is a losses or there are risks involved in the business processes. We should be identifying those risks before time and start communicating on that basically.
Yes. So looking into the fun conclusion about effectiveness of one as business partner, the one thing which I would mention is that there is no single fit solution for quality. There is no particular set of the skills which onboarding tick, and that's where you go. So it's not something. It's really a combination of sometimes it depends on person to person. So of course it's a personality, it's a behavior, and personality and behavior is something which cannot be taught, which cannot be developed. So yes, through some processes, through rigorous HR screening, someone can achieve it. Of course, people are achieving it also. But yes, how to keep it ongoing, how to keep it motivated, how to keep it alive on the organization, because there is external factors involved also. External means external inside the organization, like outside the finance department. So it's a really a challenge. So it's really a behavior, and I believe that since 2009 was a corporate governance became a topic of discussion, and people started, governments actually started making finance professions accountable towards board performance and all these discussions. We know that all of the regulations has come into the picture, especially in US. So I believe that the risk assessment or all the required skills which we take, it should be a substance of the job description. So we should be developing more and more such personalities, and we should be enforcing the behaviors across the organization, so everyone should understand that what business partner is here to deliver. So that's how we can make this role as effective as it can be, and we can really get out of the benefits which will align with the
ability for others to manage our finances. We need to be able to communicate with them effectively. First question for you guys.
Thank you for that. That was pretty informative, Salman and Sidra. So just a question, because I'm in a similar position where I head a chartered accountancy firm. Now the question for me is, I have a certain way that I want to run a firm, certain style of leadership that I follow. And whatever you said about a partner or a finance business partner having certain qualities was absolutely bang on. But say if that style of leadership that person doesn't follow, and maybe him or her, or there's no compatibility. What, in your opinion, what would you prefer in such a circumstance?
Exactly. So this is what I think I touched a little bit on that, because even myself, we keep on trying different leadership styles depending on the group of the people we are managing. So this is very important. It's a tailored style. I know that we can't make everyone happy. We can't tailor our personality or style of teaching or style of working with everyone. But yes, there is something which we can tailor around, and if there is something which is not very much significant, we can really forget about it. So, but yes, this is what I'm saying, that person should not be, there should not single solution. There is not one leadership style which will fit this scope. There are different leadership styles, and we have to be really adapted towards it.
Great, you got to follow up. I see you're going. All right.
From my point of view, it is a continuous process. You may teach something to someone today, but you cannot expect that it will continue for longer term basically, because environment is changing, it's dynamic. We need to keep upgrade ourselves and our staff accordingly, and we need to see where the skill sets are going and what are the gaps in the market or in our team, and we need to work as a leader to improve those gaps, to mitigate those risks basically.
Thanks for that. Just a follow-up. So say we always look for compatibility, obviously, because you want to run your business smoothly. They can never be 100% compatibility for sure. But is there any tipping point that you like, okay, this is it, that you cannot go beyond this? Or how do you evaluate such situations?
Yes. So see, in that case, I am discharging my role in different perspectives, being responsible for my team, being accountable towards my clients, and we are having the clients from different industries. So definitely, this is really challenging. What's the tipping point? What I have understood so far, that you need to educate the people and make them responsible. I think without giving them support to deliver the role, you cannot expect out of them. So this is where, just like Salman said, rightly that we need to identify the gaps first. Okay, what are the existing clients or in terms of team? I'm talking in perceptions of both areas, in terms of team, in terms of the client space. So we have to identify the gaps and then educate them and then make them accountable. I think this is the only style which works best. Otherwise, without keeping them with the necessary support, just leaving them, for example, so this is really doesn't work. I will give a very interesting sample here. We recently got engaged with the crypto. There were many discussions on the crypto. We are different target so we are more interested in how the blockchain, side blockchain, whatever the methodology is important. So in that case, after understanding it, we got into the discussion of devising the reporting structures for them. So this is what that we are having few professionals right now and on the board who can really devise a reporting mechanism for the crypto organization. So this is where we worked first and then we devise a reporting structure and then we deliver. Then we can make it. Now I can expect them to build their skills on top of what I have given them in the framework. So it's really important to equip them with the support and then expect out of them.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, fantastic. We can keep going. I got time for one more question. One more back there. Great.
Hi guys, sorry to keep on speaking, but the Fireside chat was amazing. I think Rachel said a very key word of our time. It's education. And I think we are in a time where two types of education are coming. One is the old finance, and one, just as you said a few moments ago, it's in the crypto. How are you doing that? And how do you think you can strike a balance between giving education and in fact making a business for your company? Thank you so much.
Yes, similarly, it's a very simple solution for that. That first of all, just like just take a conference today, we are doing some, ourselves also in terms of, just like I said, there was a blockchain or side blockchain. So we get the training ourselves first. Okay, we worked on our own frameworks first and what it should be, because when we are developing a framework, it doesn't come alone with the one side approach. We prepare a framework and then we identify what are the problems with that. Then we develop more. That Ethereum, for example, there's a recent development in December. So before that, we already developed and then we reframed it. So this is something, once it's try and test, and that's how we come up with a framework which now is very much adaptable to accommodate whatever the recent development is. So trainings, ourselves, and then preparing the framework and then delivering it. This is the only way to develop the skills and keep ourselves ahead.
Great. Well, first of all, I think they should also consider education of teaching husbands what you did. I don't know if anyone caught you poured his wife a nice glass of water, gave it to him. So well done. I acknowledge that. So allowing you to definitely answer that.
Yeah, from my point of view, basically this is the point where for finance business partners, one of the skill is that understand the industry, understand the business. So, see, accounting is different. If you know the business, you can have your proper control on accounting. So understanding of the business environment is different and it's very important. And there are different ways for the understanding. We can discuss after this chat in more detail. It's a long topic basically. But again, it's continuous learning and development in that.
Incredible. Let's give a